Hello everyone and welcome to the House of the Dragon episode 5 predictions live stream. As with all the others, it's spoilery. It's super spoilery. Are we live? Yeah, we are live. Perfect. Hello. Yes, it's spoilery. We'll be looking at spoilers from Fire and Blood and looking at stills for the next episode, looking at trailers for the next episode, all that stuff. So if you're not interested in spoilers, if you don't want to know what could happen in the future of House of the Dragon, as always, don't watch this stream. This is spoilery. It's in the title. Okay. So yeah, I actually ran through this entire intro already, and I was like, why is there no one in the chat? And I realized for some reason my Streamlabs messed up, and I think I accidentally recorded like a 1 to 2 minute like unlisted Patreon live stream. Because the settings were messed up. So yeah, the patrons have like a 2-minute video of me introducing this live stream, but I've readjusted it and I'm here. That's one of the reasons why I'm late. One of the reasons the late Lord has arrived at 20 past. The other reason is I was eating dinner, if I'm being honest, and also my microphone is broken. Not my actual microphone, but like the microphone stand. So let me know how my audio is, because like it's basically just resting against the table. So I don't know if the audio is any good, but I need to fix that. Anyway, let's move on. Ryan says, "Hello, bro. Love your based videos. Love you too. You're also based." Yeah. So why is this live stream so early compared to most of my Sunday live streams? Well, two reasons for that. One, the later live streams are for my American audience. You know, it's in the evening. It's right before House of the Dragon comes out. I wanted to do an early one so the my European fans can catch this live as well. And also, it's the Euros in the evening, and I want to take the evening off. It's the finals. England versus Spain. Obviously, it's coming home. We're going to win 10-0, so I don't want to miss that. So I thought I'd do an earlier stream. Okay, audio's okay? Perfect. Nice. So before we dive into it, I will say, if you want to send in a question or any comment of any kind, feel free to send in a super chat. My audio's gone. Has my audio gone, like, fully? Let me double... Okay, let me know if my audio is fine or not. Yeah, I think it is fine. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, feel free to send in a super chat. Or you can send in a donation via Streamlabs. In the description, there's a link to Streamlabs donations where you can send in a donation. The difference between a super chat and a donation is that when you send in a super chat, YouTube steals a whole bunch of it, whereas Streamlab donation, I receive all of it. So, awesome. When's the kickoff, by the way, asked Mink? 8 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. And our plane is going overhead, of course, just to interrupt me. So yeah, of course, England is going to take it home. But enough about football. Enough football. Oh, before we begin, we do indeed have a super chat from before I even started the live stream, from Gavin Copley, who says, "I'm ready for a trip to the Twins." Oh, we'll be talking about that, don't you worry. Yes, in the trailer and in one of the promo pictures, we see the Twins, and we see, I believe, Lord Forrest Frey himself, who I've talked about before in my collab video with Quinn GM, The History of House Frey. I don't know why everyone's saying soccer in the chat. I don't recognise that word. I know the word football, I don't know the word soccer. Okay, let's begin, shall we? And hope this works. Oh, and also, thank you for the donation from Merlin, who says, "The late Lord Haven is Azor Ahai reborn." Hazor Ahai? Haven Ahai? Azor Havai? I'm trying to find a way to make that work. Thank you so much for the super... Yes, I am Azor Ahai reborn. The Song of Ice and Fire prophecy that Rhaenyra keeps waffling about to Jace. I am the one. Aegon the Conqueror on his blade. See, if they turn the blade over, they're only reading one side of the blade. If they turn it over in the flames, it's like, just to clarify, this prophesized hero, Lord Haven, right? He'll be centuries in the future, but Lord Haven is the guy. He is the one who will save Westeros. How am I saving Westeros? With predictions live streams, apparently. Yeah. This is my job, everyone. Okay, starting off. The debrief. So, yeah, we have, these are the promo stills. We have Rhaenyra serving fate. Most of these stills are just people serving fate. It's quite funny. This is her at the Dragonstone painted table, as usual, and then a beautiful shot below where she's leaning on the side of the battlements and staring out over the sea. It'll be really interesting to see her reaction after the Battle of Rook's Rest, because obviously it was her executive decision to send the dragon out. It was keeping pushed by her council, and she finally said, okay, after everything that's happened, after all the delays and so on, I now know that there is no end to this war. I now know that we have to win it. Apologise for the plane again. It's atmospheric. It's all atmospheric. I don't even know if you can hear it. But anyway, yes. And she goes, yep, we are going to commit dragons, and she offers herself, but then in the end, Rhaenys goes. So presumably, she's going to be facing the consequences of sending an ally out to die. But it'll be a mixed bag, right? Because Rhaenys is gone, her dragon's gone. Potentially, she may think at this point that her alliance with the Velaryons could be in jeopardy, because we know in the in Fire and Blood that Corlys isn't happy with Rhaenyra at this time. But on the other hand, Sunfire is down, Aegon is down, so it's possible that she can spin it and be like, okay, yeah, it was a Pyrrhic victory for both sides, because we lost Rhaenys, but also Aegon is crippled and his dragon is also crippled. And it'll be fun to see, sort of moving on from that, what is her plan? What is she going to plot? Right, what's the next stage of this war for her? For Team Green, it's boom. We got a bunch of Crownland castles on the coast, and we killed a big old dragon and a dragon rider, and a powerful ally of the Blacks. Perfect. Meanwhile, their Hightower army is on the march, and their Lannister army is marching to the Golden Tooth in order to enter the Riverlands. But what's the Team Black play here? It'll be fun to see how that unfolds this episode for sure. Next up, we have the Mistress of Whisperers. So, by no means is this an official title. Oh yeah, remember, Canva sometimes takes its sweet time in moving the slide on. I need to do that stuff in advance. Yeah, I've called her the Grey Worm in this because her outfits are looking less and less white and more just kind of grey. Welcome back, Grey Worm from Game of Thrones. But yeah, she's sort of the unofficial Mistress of Whisperers to Rhaenyra. She's not currently on the council in that capacity. In fact, last episode we saw her doing the little finger, the little finger sneak around the corner where you just like one eye around the corner, like spying on the council. So yeah, it looks like she's going to be reporting and scheming with Rhaenyra in this sort of cool study room, and not necessarily being at the council. Although I would like to see her at the council table at some point as the last unofficial Mistress of Whisperers before her, of course, was Tyanna of the Tower, the mistress of Maegor the Cruel, and went on to be his third wife? Yes, his third wife. So yeah, what are they talking about here? Well, there's some interesting lines of dialogue in the trailer that we can delve into a bit more later on. But seeing as the Greens have Larys rising to prominence, and you had Otto had the whole Jaehaerys's body propaganda play, and based on the trailer, Kristen Cole is going to put Meleys's head on a carriage, and that's going to be a big piece of propaganda. We have slain Rhaenys and Meleys. So it'll be useful to see Rhaenyra. It'll be useful for Team Black to work on their own propaganda, right? To spread the word. Don't let Team Green control the narrative. And there's a line later on about there's more than one way to win a war. I think Mysaria is going to present, look, we need agents everywhere. We need spies. We need... God, planes, be gone. Stop spying on me. It's because I live in Guantanamo Bay, right? So the prisoner's always coming in and out. I'm looking out my cell door, my cell window as I speak. Goddamn planes. Anyway. Yes. What was I talking about? Yeah, spy network, agents, all that stuff. That'll be fun to see. And it could be that maybe, because obviously in season 1, she wore a very beautiful white dress. But now she's lost power. She was literally burned out of her house. She was chased out. Her network was taken over and consolidated by Larys. So she's gone down to the bottom of the rung, so now she's kind of wearing grey rags. So not rags, but kind of just boring robes. So maybe over time, because the costumes generally have improved, right? So it could be that over time we're going to see, as Rhaenyra's power increases and how Mysaria's power and influence at court increases as well, the court of Dragonstone, maybe she will start wearing nice outfits and we'll go back to those wonderful white dresses to symbolise that she's going back up the greasy pole. So, next up, I gotta remember to change the slides faster so that they show up. Next up, we have to talk about Corlys, Big CV himself, the sea snake. Yeah, we have a couple of shots of these shots. Kind of remind me of that one meme of I think it's the guy from Narcos. I haven't seen it, but it's the guy from Narcos, right? Who, like, all those different shots of him, like, sitting down, looking sad, staring into a mirror, looking out the garden with his hands behind his back. It kind of looks like he just looks done. He looks defeated. So on the right is him in his actual Velaryon outfit, because we know he's currently on Dragonstone, so presumably he will find out about Rhaenys' death. And then in the other shot, again, he's... The picture on the left, it looks like he's wearing a more modest outfit, and it kind of looks similar to the one he's wearing in an older trailer shot, where he's wearing like just kind of a blue shirt and standing dramatically in front of the Driftwood throne. So it could be that he basically dramatically leaves Dragonstone and goes back to Driftmark to reconsider. You know, he's lost his son, and he probably suspects Daemon killed her. He lost his daughter Lena, and Daemon is indirectly involved in terms of childbirth. And now he's lost his wife. He's probably like, why am I on Team Black in the first place? God damn it! Everything is collapsing around me. Maybe he blames himself. Maybe Rhaenys' words will haunt him. Right? Rhaenys talking about how, you know, Corlys' that they're being cursed by the gods due to their ambition, right? And that's why Lena died. Maybe those words will haunt him. He'll be like, damn, this is a cursed family. I rose so high and wanted to get higher, and now I'm falling. But this happens in the book, right? He's furious with Rhaenyra, and in Fire and Blood, she's able to coax him back by naming him the Hand of the King. She's like, I will make you my hand. And he's like, okay, fine. Power? Yeah, sure, why not? So that could be this episode. It might be a later episode, but I can see it being this one where he just leaves her, and then she calls him back and names him Hand to bring him fully on board, because the last thing she needs is the Velaryon fleet leaving. But yeah, so again, just reaction. I hope we get some reaction. See, here's the thing with this season. We are getting a few moments of something big happens, and then you don't really see the character react to it. You see them discussing it in the aftermath, like maybe sort of a few hours later or days later or whatever. The thing that's popping into my head specifically is Aemond, right? The whole Aemond killing Luke, and we never saw anyone's immediate response to that, which is a shame, because like Otto Hightower, he was cooking. He was going so hard at Aegon and for hanging the rat catchers, feckless. He was going hard at Aegon for hanging the rat catchers, and it's like, where was this energy with Aemond? You know, I wanted to see Otto, that line from the book where he says, "You only lost one eye. How can you be so blind?" And so, yeah, we kind of skipped over that one. And of course, there are those comparisons to season 8 of Game of Thrones where characters were like about to be information was about to be revealed, and it would just cut away because it kind of felt like the writers didn't know how to write that scene, or were maybe a bit tired and were like, screw it, let's move on. So yeah, hopefully we see their immediate reaction to her death, and it's not just a kind of like a few days later they are still reeling from it, and it's like, no, let's see their initial, yeah, I don't know, I have to see how it goes. Yeah, thoughtless, self-indulgent, trifling. Thank you for the donation from Lala Loopsy, the one and only. Hey Dad, oh boy, I need to find a way to get the Streamlabs donations on screen actually. Hey Dad, favourite A Song of Ice and Fire lesbian? I like Alyssa Farman. I want to make it clear that I absolutely despise you and everything you stand for, and I'm only donating through Streamlabs because Susan's replacement won't let me change my profile picture away from Boosie. Right, so that probably sounds like alien to most people who are listening. Long story short, Loopsy is one of my patrons. His profile picture is currently my cat for some reason, and apparently whoever's running YouTube now won't let him change it. That's a shame. Thank you for despising me. I despise you too. Who's my favourite A Song of Ice and Fire lesbian? I mean, in the spirit of House of the Dragon, Jane Arryn's pretty cool. Although maybe Sabbatha Frey. I'm the Frey guy, right? I am the Frey YouTuber. I've kind of lost that title a bit because I haven't talked about the Freys in a while. But I have to go Sabbatha Frey. I know she's a Viperin technically, but in her heart she's a Frey. Warrior woman going out in battle in armor, and hopefully we'll see her. We'll be talking about her later, actually. Oh wait, no, we can talk about her now. Look, the Freys are up. Holy shit, yeah, the Freys. Thank you for this. Thank you for the donation there. Okay, House Frey. Boom. I kind of forgot the Freys were on screen. Okay, so it looks like clearly Jace is going to the twins, and we see this in the trailer too, for some sort of negotiation. There's a shot as well of Jace and Rhaenyra talking. This could be Rhaenyra sending him off. This could be her being like... It could be them talking about the Song of Ice and Fire prophecy again. Ugh. Or more likely, hopefully. It's, okay, we need to secure the Riverlands. Daemon has Harrenhal. He's getting House Blackwood onto his side. That's cool, but it's not enough. Jace, you've been sitting around doing nothing because we decided to scrap your Vale and... Excuse me, sorry. We decided to scrap your Eyrie and Winterfell negotiation plot lines. So, boom, you can do some more negotiation. Which is, I like that. I like how he's not standing around doing nothing but serving face for every episode. Now he gets to serve face in a new place. Does Jace. Bars. So yeah, he gets to go to the twins, and presumably he is negotiating with Lord Forest Frey, known as Fool of Frey in the book, because he once offered his hand to Rhaenyra, and she rejected it, and everyone's like, you're an idiot, why would she marry a Frey? You Fool of Frey. He kind of looks like Lionel. Is it just me? Doesn't he kind of look like Lionel Strong in that picture? But yeah, he goes on, again, spoiler stream, he goes on to join Team Black, we know, and actually fight in, is it Red Fork or Fish Feed? I think he fights in Fish Feed. And we also know that Forrest Frey in the book has a wife called Sabbatha Frey, who I talked about before. Now, in Fire and Blood, Forrest Frey dies, I think it's Fish Feed is where he dies, and then his wife becomes a widow, and she's Lady Sabbatha Frey, and she marches into battle. And she becomes the alleged lover of Black Ali, who's Alicent Blackwood. So there's sort of some sort of relationship between those two women. Will it be adapted on screen? That could be fun. They're cool characters for sure. We haven't seen Black Ali yet. We've heard that Benjicott Blackwood canonically is now the Lord, like in the book. There's Willem Blackwood, who's a show-only character from last season, brought back now. He's Benjicott's uncle. That's also fun. Will Black Ali be Benjicott's sister? Hopefully. I'm gonna throw out a guess that the woman next to Lord Forrest Frey is not Sabbatha Frey. I assume the young armoured woman is not going to be whoever that actress is. That looks like an older woman, and I do believe that the actress who's playing that role is playing someone called Lady Serena. So there are three scenarios here. One, they have scrapped Sabbatha Frey. They're like, we have scrapped her. We're not doing that storyline. We want to give Forrest Frey a wife, but we don't want to call her Sabbatha because the fans will be mad, so we'll just slightly change the name. Serena. You're Serena Frey. Right, we're scrapping her. Or, another option number 2 of 3 is Sabbatha Frey's mother. Right? That it could be that is Sabbatha Frey's mother and Forrest's mother, and that instead of having Sabbatha Frey be Forrest's wife, is Forrest's daughter. And so that makes sense because this Forrest looks that's like a middle-aged dude, maybe a guy in his 40s. And so then it makes sense that they'd have a daughter, young Sabbatha. A third option, of course, is that isn't his wife, that Lady Serena is his mother. Because honestly, it's hard to tell from this picture, but she does look a bit older than him. So it could be that it's Forrest Frey and then his mother is sort of his advisor, and you can almost imagine it from the Weasley phrase. You know, Forrest will kind of, you can imagine Forrest turning and kind of being like, "What should I do, mother?" And his mother's like, "You should join them, Forrest." He's like, "Yes, yes, join them," or something like that. I say Weasley, no, it's only Walder Frey and his brood that are Weasley. Like before then, the Freys were pretty badass. Again, the rumors were untrue. I was convinced that Henry Cavill would be playing Lord Forrest Frey instead. They've got this guy. That's fine, I guess. I still think it would have been hilarious if they're like, "Lord, you must speak to Lord Frey," and the audience is like, "Oh, not Lord Frey," and it's some like buff, handsome Chad. He's like, "Yeah, I'm Lord Forrest. What are you gonna do about it?" Yeah. So those are the three options. Sabitha is scrapped, or Sabitha is their daughter, or Sabitha is his wife, but she's not in this scene, and that woman is his mother. Or maybe Sabitha and Serena have been merged, but probably not, because why change the name, you know? So this doesn't happen in the book, obviously, but because of the phrase joining Team Black, I imagine it'll be a successful negotiation. I imagine it will play with the audience's expectation, right? Because the audience is going to come in being like, "Oh, the Freys are Weasley and slimy and treacherous and backstabbing, and they don't respect guest right, etc." So I think it'll be quite fun and subversive to have him just be like a good dude, have Lord Forrest genuinely be like a good, honourable guy. They're serving him a lovely drink at this table, and there's a bowl in the middle. Maybe food. Honestly, it would be really cool if Forrest Frey like offers him food, like literally bread and salt. It doesn't literally have to be bread and salt, right? The term bread and salt, breaking bread, having salt, to show that you are a guest, and you're protected under guest right. That just means food. Bread and salt is just food. Whereas in Game of Thrones, they literally have Robb Stark like dip a chunk of bread into salt and eat it, and they make it over more blatant like ritualistic thing as opposed to just having food. But that's fair enough. So it could be that they serve some food to Jace and it's like, "Yes, you are protected under guest right," and it's deliberately quite ironic, and it's like, "Oh, your descendant's going to be a real bastard, isn't he?" But yes, the greatest house in Westeros. I can't wait to make more Frey content. What does that say? What did I write there? Every Frey explained. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what every Frey explained means. Is that an essay? Is that a video somewhere? I'm not sure. That sounds familiar, though. It rings a bell. I don't know. Does anyone... Let me know if anyone here knows what every Frey explained means. I have no clue. But I think we should move on to Harrenhal, where Daemon is being spiked by weirwood roofies. Someone be slipping that weirwood paste into his drinks. Stop spiking my drink. Okay, so Daemon and Harrenhal, what's he up to this episode? There's lots of cool stuff in the trailer that shows what he's doing. And again, we'll get to that later, but these still specifically, the fact that he looks so stressed and he's like leaning against a fireplace, he's gonna have more visions, right? They're not just gonna have 2 episodes of visions and that's it. But it'll be interesting to see what comes up next, because we've seen him hallucinate Rhaenyra twice. Once, both times he sees her as the teenage girl he sort of groomed and manipulated. The first time she's cleaning up after him and sewing Jaehaerys' head back together. The second time she's wearing the crown and, saying that Viserys loved her more than him and he kills her in anger. Another vision he has, of course, is Aemond, is himself in Aemond cosplay, sort of signifying that he believes he's in some way helped create Aemond, that Aemond is reflected back at him, right? The kind of insecure young man who is desperately trying to emulate his badass rogue prince uncle. So what visions will be here? Are we going to see more Rhaenyra? Are we going to see more Aemond? Are we going to see Rhea Royce? Because we saw Laena, his second wife, last episode. Are we going to see the bronze bitch who he killed? Rock sticking out of her head? That'd be fun. Maybe Vizzy T. Maybe we're going to see Paddy come back. Viserys hallucination. He's going to slap him and be like, "What are you doing?" Oh, that'd be fun. And then, more discussions with Alice Rivers, which is good. We want more Alice Rivers. I want to see how their weird, I guess, how their dynamic changes or evolves or whatever. She's checking his hand here. I'm not sure what that's about. Checking his hand. Must have hurt himself. There are later screenshots of him like chopping wood, so it could be that he hurts himself and Alice Rivers like, "Oh, let me sort that." Yeah. Take the splinter out, give you a plaster, drink some weirwood paste. Damon's like, "What was that third one?" She's like, Nothing. Just drink this. It's fine." This man needs to stop I'm done. I'm not even going to go back to that. Let's move on. So, yeah, post-traumatic Alicent disorder. Round of applause, everyone, for the Mother of the Year, Alicent. Whoa. I forgot that my mic was... The stand was broken. I just fully hit it and it kind of fell over a bit. We're safe, I think. We're safe. So, yes, this is her seeing Aegon return on the left. So she's going to... As if she's not suffering enough from, like, war breaking out, death of Viserys, death of Jaehaerys. Now she basically rudely roasted her... Oh, and Rhaenyra explaining the whole Song of Ice and Fire thing. Now she was roasting her own son, who then went out and physically got roasted. She probably blames herself, so I can imagine how crazy she might go. She's like, God damn it. Yeah, her reactions will be interesting. She's clearly spiraling and always sort of caring less and less about her principles and so on. You know, that side of herself that she shows the world, she's sort of abandoning it somewhat with being with Kristen and taking the moon tea and being drunk in front of Aegon, kind of tipsy in front of Aegon and roasting him and all that stuff. On the right we have Alicent with Kristen again. Kristen's holding like a little wooden box. Not sure what's in that. It could be something belonging to Aegon that he's put in a box to give her. It could be a token, right? Maybe it's the token she gave him. He's giving it back in a box, like, thank you for giving me your token, my lady, your grace, my queen. Very kind of you. Yeah, so how is their relationship going to continue? Are we going to see more, as AltShiftX likes to say, messy sex? Or are they kind of breaking up? Are they kind of like, yeah, I'm done with you, Alicent. I'm now the kingmaker. I'm not a glorified bodyguard stewing in my dark thoughts and letting it go every now and again, relieving myself with you. No, I'm the goddamn kingmaker. I'm a commander. I'm Caesar reborn. Begone, thought. I don't know. It could go either way. But yeah, he has returned. This is confirmation that they're not going to continue marching on to Harrenhal, which I thought they might do. I thought they might do Rook's Rest and then they keep going to Harrenhal, which will obviously set up what happens later on in the book where Aemond and Kristen arrive at Harrenhal. But no, they're returning with, as you can see here, hopefully, if the screen has changed, they're returning with the head of Meleys. Meleys, the Red Queen. So they're kind of, as it says here, lessons from Otto. These planes, my goodness. I'm trying to do a live stream here. Stop. Be gone. Be gone. So loud. So yeah, lessons from Otto. Yeah, they're kind of taking, Otto parading in celebration and in tragic mourning and celebration of Prince Jaehaerys to turn the masses against Rhaenyra the Cruel. Well, now they're kind of doing their own sort of parade where they're dragging Meleys' head through the streets and being like, yep, look what we did. We killed Meleys, we killed Rhaenys, we are powerful, we are strong. It's a great show of strength, show of legitimacy, maybe. Look, we've got a bunch of castles, we took down a dragon. And word will spread, and maybe other lords throughout the Seven Kingdoms will be like, yep, Team Green seem like they're the ones. Of course, on the negative side, it has been pointed out to me that actually maybe it's not the best idea to parade a dragon head through the streets, because you are showing these powerful beasts, these medieval nukes, these symbols of Targaryen power and legitimacy. You're kind of showing them to be mortal, right? Literally, this mythological being's head is being dragged through the streets. You're being like, yeah, they can be killed. And that could affect the psychology of the small folk. And again, I'll repeat this, spoiler stream, but this could be one of the many things that contributes towards the storming of the dragon pit. This idea of dragons can be slain. They are not mortals. So maybe that'll backfire in some way. But yeah, Kristen's looking badass with the new helmet and the chains. Gwaine is back. Gwaine has returned. I do wonder what Gwaine's role is going to be. Will he join the City Watch like he does in Fire and Blood? He joins the City Watch and ends up being stabbed by Luthor Largent, who's a black loyalist. Feels like it might be a bit of a waste for him. So maybe he'll return back to Old Town. And then Season 3, we're going to have Daeron and Ormond Hightower introduced to us in the Reach via Otto's perspective. maybe Gwain's going to go back, and so we'll have Otto and Gwain, two characters we know, interacting with Aemond and Daeron, and there might be a fun contrast between slimy Otto and pompous Gwain with charming, effusive, lovely Daeron Targaryen, perhaps. Or maybe he will stick around and become Kristen's buddy, and so when Kristen and Aemond go to Harrenhal, he will join along, and then there'll be like a fun little trio, right, to bounce off of each other. The mysterious, silent Aemond and the badass General Kristen Cole and his Lieutenant Gwain Hightower. That's how they'll sell themselves, right? And then, of course, when Kristen and Aemond kind of break up and go their own paths, Kristen has someone to bounce off of. So maybe Gwain will make it all the way to Butcher's Ball, who knows? And on the right, we have Kristen letting his hair down, not literally because he had it all cut off, but he's kind of wearing his undergarments, I guess, whatever's under that armor, and he's chilling at a desk. So, yeah, well, that's probably the Tower of the Hand desk, isn't it? That's probably the same desk where we always say Otto, like, rolling up letters and blowing on the wax and looking like he's rolling up a joint. But this time he's going to be Kristen at his desk looking at all these letters like, yes, no, I can't read. I still can't read, but, I won some battles, so that's something. Next up, we have... What do we have? Aemond. Prince Regent, ? Ooh, very nice. So, in Fire and Blood, we know that our boy Aemond becomes the Prince Regent after Aegon is wounded. And he sits the Iron Throne, he leads the council meetings, and it certainly makes sense. In this show, he's been set up as... He's a cunning strategist, and he's a great swordsman, and he appears to be something of a military mind, and he rides a powerful dragon, and as he claims, he studied the histories and philosophy and probably poetry. I bet you can tell he writes poems. And so he's like, yes, I am suited to be king. Probably one of the myriad of reasons he betrayed Aegon in episode 4. So now he is the one in charge. Well, we'll see how this episode goes. We know that he becomes Prince Regent and rules in his brother's stead. That could happen this episode. Maybe this episode builds towards that, where he basically takes over, with Otto gone, with Aegon gone, it's Aemond taking over the council. Maybe the Greens become more fierce, more bloodthirsty, more warmongering, more competent as well, honestly. He's given that stare. I saw a post on Reddit that was like, how can a man with one eye stare so hard? Like, that is a stare. And then we have him by the Iron Throne. I wonder if he will wear Aegon's crown because he's Prince Regent, or he gets his own crown maybe. Or he doesn't wear a crown, but he might sit the Iron Throne at some point. But this shot of him looking at someone, I'm pretty sure that's Helaena. I did turn up the brightness. I think that's Helaena. We haven't actually had adult Aemond and Helaena interact. Well, we haven't had Helaena and Aemond interact full stop. We know that Aemond was like, yes, I would marry Helaena when they were kids at Driftmark. That he was like, I'd marry her. If it was my duty, I would. He's clearly got some affection for her. He goes to see her after Viserys dies, right? He walks into the room, interrupts Helaena and Alicent talking. And there are all those sort of rumours about, Helena's children, Aemond's children, do they have a secret affair? I don't think they do, but I kind of get the sense that one of the reasons he hates Aegon is sort of, he's also got the woman I want to marry, that's the sister that I want. He doesn't want the throne, but he sits the throne. He doesn't want the crown, but he wears the crown. He doesn't want his sister wife, but he's married to her and has kids with her, and he's like, no, that should be me. So this might be him being like, I hear you're single now, sis. Do you want to hook up? Marry me instead? You never know. So yeah, this could be Aemond's half of the season. Season 1 was very much Aegon, right? On Team Green, that was Aegon's half of the season. And Aemond was pretty much chilling by himself, being kind of quiet, muted. This could be him coming to the limelight while Aegon is leaving crusty black stains on his bed. Those sheets going to be changed so often. Can you imagine the smell? Bacon, right? That's the smell of burned human flesh. Like, Aegon's room must just smell like bacon. Black flakes everywhere. Charcoal on the bed. You got to keep changing the sheets. So, we may see Prince Regent Aemond. And moving on from Prince Regent Aemond, we have Supreme Leader Aemond. So, we finished going through all the promo pictures, and now we're going to look at screenshots from the trailer that was released. Before that, I will quickly look up, check out the chat, see what people are talking about. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Will we see Jane mother Aaron this episode? I don't think so, simply because there was that promo picture of Jane Aaron that was released a while ago. Was it accidentally released? I'm not sure. But it was released a while ago. And it's weird that they would have Jane Aaron and, Rhaenyra in the Vale and that not be in any photo in any trailers. So I don't think we're seeing the Aarons next episode. I do think we will see them next week, and if not that, the week after. And I am, of course, going to start working on the history of House Aaron. So I've got a couple of weeks to work on that one. Well, yeah, 1 to 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks to work on that one. And that will be my last big animated video during Hot D era, and then I'll start working on something else. But obviously the live streams and episode reviews will be weekly. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she does appear, and I'm like, God damn it, I've timed everything wrong. I need to get the Aaron videos too late. Oh yeah, and the reason I know that it is the Freys at the table with Jace is because there's a wider shot in the trailer where you can see that they are having their negotiations in the middle of the bridge, in between the two castles, the twins, and then you see Vermax in the background, so it is the twins. Thank you for the super chat also, by the way, from the one and only Coleshot, you legend, who says, coffee is on me if you want to buy one. Thank you so much. I might need that coffee tomorrow when I have to start reviewing the episode, if I maybe go a bit crazy tonight watching the Euros, watching us win 10-0 England to Spain. Spain's going to eat it. It's not like England is consistently stumbling its way into victory and Spain is like an actual talented team and we're completely going to get annihilated. That's not going to happen, I swear. The Frey video better be longer than the Swift Glimbers Jon Snow video, says Chad Summerchild. I cannot guarantee that every Frey explained will be 23 hours long. Maybe I should post it on Nebula. Maybe I should get on the Nebula grind and be like, screw you, every Frey explained is on Nebula. No, it's coming on YouTube. Let me have a look. Do you think Daemon and Alice Rivers are going to bang? No. Again, I will throw this out again. Spoilers live stream. I always want to say that before I say a spoiler, just in case people don't see the title, don't read the title properly. I don't think they will, because obviously Alice Rivers goes on to become Aemon's lover. And that doesn't mean that she can't be Daemon's, but I don't think it's really necessary for his character to be seduced by Alice. That feels a bit weird. Although maybe Alice will try. I can see that. Maybe Alice has a type and she tries to go for one inbred looking prince and then it fails, so she goes for the next inbred looking prince. Pale inbred English prince who women simp over for baffling reasons, but there we go. Alright, what else are people saying? Where is Lord Quinn the GM? It's probably a bit early for him. This is an earlier live stream than usual. I think Aemond will clap Helena's cheeks and that will produce Maelor. As another spiteful act against Aegon. There's one way of putting it. Maybe, but I'm not a big fan of... If Maelor doesn't exist, he doesn't exist. Right? I don't want Maelor to be conceived and then Helena goes through several months of childbirth and then gives birth to a baby and then that baby ends up getting torn apart at Bitterbridge. That feels pointless at that. Maelor's not that important anyway. People kind of overstate it. Maelor only really exists for one major event, and that is Blood and Cheese, the choice. That's gone because Blood and Cheese was kind of underwhelming, So what's the point in Maelor? And people say, oh well, the point of Maelor is for him to be torn apart at Bitterbridge, but it's but what's the point of that other than just being a shocking scene of a toddler being killed? And it's oh well, that causes Prince Daeron to sack Bitterbridge. Okay, but what's the point of him sacking Bitterbridge? And then there's silence because it's like nothing more is added to any characters or even the storyline. What it does is it pushes Helaena to end her life. But there are other things they can do if they go that route. I've sort of theorized that they might not even have Helaena, the whole jumping out the window. They might kind of merge her and Jaehaerys' death and have her pushed for political reasons. Like, in my head, I can imagine... this is deep predictions, by the way, deep lore. But I'm imagining Larys, like, post-fall of King's Landing, smuggles Aegon away. I can see Larys having Helaena assassinated, pushed out the window, and then spreading rumours through King's Landing to the small folk, like, Rhaenyra had her murdered. She's evil, and that will stir up, anger against and resentment against Rhaenyra. And of course, Larys will not tell anyone of this plan. It will just be him. But I don't know. That's just an idea. Excuse me. Sorry. So yeah, long story short, Aemond could clap Helena's cheeks, I guess. I don't think Maelor will come of it because it feels kind of pointless. But they could sleep together, yeah, maybe. We don't really know what Helena's thoughts on Aemond are. We know she doesn't really like Aegon that much. We know she loves her kids. Her thoughts on Aemond, I'm not sure. There is that shot in the trailer of a man and a woman in bed together, seemingly coupling with Targaryen hair, but it didn't look like Helaena. And I don't think it looked like Aemond, so I'm not sure. Bum bum. Aegon is gonna get cucked, isn't he? Okay. Before we move on with the trailer, I'll talk about it during the trailer. I will talk about my most infamous of theories, the cuck theory, which will be episode 6. That's not based on any leaks, by the way. That's literally, I'm making it up. But episode 6 seems fine, because episode 7 and 8, you're going to deal with more serious stuff. Episode 5, he's recovering. Episode 6 will be the episode where they recreate that scene from the book where he watches his Kingsguard buddies bang some, servants, and he's watching from behind a curtain. The Aegon cuck scene is coming, I promise you. I dropped something on the floor. I found the thing I dropped on the floor. Okay, let's continue. Enough about that. Right. So yes, Supreme Leader Aemond. I say that because he's got a weirdly sort of like 20th century dictator outfit, which is kind of fun. And he has the Valyrian steel dagger now. That's his. That's moved on to him. That is now his symbol of legitimacy. He's looking over the battlements. He's like, this is my city now. I'm now the regent. Or about to be the regent. And Alicent is not looking great. She's not looking happy. She's looking a bit depressed, to be honest, probably because Aegon's all cooked up. This also could be them looking over the procession. Meleys being dragged through the streets. And the herald says, behold, the traitor dragon... I went backwards. Let me try that again. I clicked on the wrong slide. Behold, the traitor dragon Meleys. And then the next shot of the trailer, we see Meleys on a big old cart going through King's Landing, as we talked about before. It's a big old show of force and power and might, propaganda. It's kind of the reverse of the Jaehaerys. The Jaehaerys is about sympathy for their cause, and this one is about almost like justifying their own strength. Like, look, proving how strong and powerful they are and they're worth being supported and that they are going to protect the people. Because look, we killed Meleys. And not just we, but Aegon. It says, the herald says, slain by King Aegon in the subtitles. Which is interesting because, of course, Meleys was not slain by King Aegon. Meleys was slain by Aemond and Vhagar. So clearly they're pushing the narrative that Aegon bravely killed... their king bravely killed Rhaenys and was, has been wounded. I don't know if they'll tell anyone he's been wounded. They might keep that under wraps, but it helps with Aegon's legitimacy, right? The king, it's one thing to say the prince and probably the heir, Aemond, did it. That's impressive, but the king himself flew out to battle and killed... Oh, that looks good for Team Green. Did you hear that Aegon himself killed the Red Queen? A dragon larger than Sunfire? That's impressive. Then we move on to the crispy king himself. We see no shots of Aegon in this trailer. Makes sense. We don't see any promo stills. That makes sense. It's probably going to be revealed to us in the episode. It's suddenly going to pop up and we're going to be like, ah! So, what have we got here? Yes, he's being... Looks like he's being transported via a big old FedEx crate, an Amazon order, as I talked about with, was it Quinn the GM? Was it a solo live stream or Quinn the GM, or was it even on my Patreon? I can't remember where I discussed this, but it's like, it's either Aegon or Alicent has ordered like a Dornish sex doll because she's getting bored of Kristen Cole being gone. But no, it's probably Aegon, in a big old crate surrounded by cushions. I do wonder how he makes it back from Rook's Rest in the state he's in. Like, is there a maester traveling with them? Maybe they take the Rook's Rest maester hostage and they're like, look after him during the weeks we travel back. But yeah, he's been put in bed. He's all covered. All the guards are there. Alicent's going to see him. That's probably going to be horrific for her. His Kingsguard friends in the bottom right picture are watching on. Again, that's their friend. That's their boy. So they're probably we're gonna have some. See, that's why they made them. That's why they made these characters, because you need Aegon to interact off of more people than just his family. So they gave him the A-Goons, right? The Goon Squad. So I'm sure they'll be by his bedside, bigging him up, being like, "You're so brave. You're so wonderful. You're amazing, aren't you?" And like I said, it's coming. The cuck scene is coming. Aegon is going to be like, "My burned barbecue sausage doesn't work anymore, so I want you three to go to town on some on some maids, you know. I want 3 doors, each of you behind a different door." It's like flicking through a TV channel. It's like going through different tabs. He's like, "What flavour of porn do you want?" You've got Ned Waters, you've got Martin Rain, you've got Leon Estamont. Who am I looking at first? While he's like sobbing on his bed. Just like crusty, steaming, just steam rising from his face or whatever. Anyway, that's gross. Let's move on. Oh yes, is he alive? Alicent asks. So, yeah. Of course he is. We know he is. They've kind of tried to make it slightly ambiguous for the casual show watchers, but also, why would you have him in the next time trailer, and why would you have a character say, "Is he alive?" only to then reveal, no, he's not. Like that. I think it's kind of obvious he's alive. I don't even think it's that much of a spoiler. Excuse me. I need to stay hydrated. I need some water. Everyone, drink some water. I drank Prime for the first time today. You know the meme drink? The like Logan Paul KSI drink? Prime? Well, it's full of electrolytes and it's good for hydration. I saw it in the shop and I decided to buy it for a meme because I was like, you know, it's Prime. And I had like a blue, what was it? Blueberry? Blue raspberry? Blue something. And it was a big blue bottle and there was blue drink in it. I drank it and I was like, man, this is refreshing. I was refreshed. This video is sponsored by Prime. Give me your money, Logan Paul. Thank you for the super chat from the Lonely Bolter, who says, "I wonder if Maelor's death will be the motive for Helena's sad face. Sad stuff." Well, it is in the book. We were talking about this earlier. You know, in Fire and Blood, that is the motive. Maelor dies. He's torn apart at Bitterbridge, and it's one tragedy too many, and so Helena throws herself from a window. Now, because Maelor doesn't exist, and I don't think he will exist, I don't think they're going to conceive him and have him be born and all that stuff. There's a bit too much. So, I don't think he will exist, which means the show's going to have a different catalyst for her killing herself. If she does kill herself, it could be she doesn't, right? It could be that in the show, someone pushes her. Like I said, Larys would be a good option for that, I think. Devious. I'm not entirely sure if Helena from in the show so far gives me, you know, jumping out of my window because I'm so depressed energy. And I'm not sure what would be the catalyst for that happening in the first place. It is bad for your body. It probably is bad for my body. Yeah, oh, by the way, just to clarify, I'm not recommending Prime. I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying I bought it for a meme and drank it and was like, yo, this is kind of tasty. But I'm not going to recommend it because I have no idea if it's good for you. It's probably not good for you, let's be honest. Yeah, I'm not drinking D juice. I'm not drinking that D fuel, the Daemon Targaryen energy drink. Someone actually commented on one of my older videos recently saying that they really like the fake sponsorships. I was like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to do fake sponsorships. I stopped doing them because I genuinely lost audience retention because they thought they were real sponsorships and they would skip them. And obviously, the more skips you have, the less retention you have, the less YouTube is going to push your video. And in the early days, I needed views, right? Like, so I stopped doing them. This stream is sponsored by Prime. Okay, so anyway, where were we? Strategizing, that's where we were. Yes, so I've upped the brightness for this, kind of dark. But the Black Council, we have Rhaenyra Targaryen. Who else have we got? We have, that looks like Lord Massey, Lord Celtgar. Lord Staunton, of course, is not here. I wonder if he's going to die off screen, like we have beheaded Lord Staunton. Or if we're going to see him getting beheaded this episode. Or maybe Meleys literally landed on him. When Meleys and Rhaenys landed on Rook's Rest, it could be they literally crushed Lord Staunton. That's kind of a badass death for him. Excuse me. Hydrated, I need some water. But yeah, Maester Gerardis, then Laurent Marbrand, Stefan Darklin, and of course Alfred Broom just standing up pacing, because I want the show to address, I want the show to finally address why Alfred Broom is at that table. Like, I want to know why a minor Westerlands knight is sitting at the small council. In the book, Sir Alfred Broom is like the most senior knight in the part of the garrison. Okay, cool, but like here he's at the council, like dictating what people should do or trying to, and it's like, you're not even a lord. Like, these are all minor lords anyway. You're just a knight. You're like a landed knight. Who are you? Why are you here? So I hope, my guess is he's probably like captain of the garrison, and that's why he's part of these meetings. So I hope they kind of clarify that. Because of course, spoilers. Just gonna say it again. Jump off if you don't want spoilers. Blah blah blah. Spoilers live stream. But we know that Alfred Broom goes on to betray Rhaenyra and betray Team Black because Rhaenyra doesn't give him the position of Castellan of Dragonstone, and he gets salty and joins Team Green. So like they're already setting him up to be a rambunctious sort of authority-defying arsehole who's always questioning stuff, pacing and so on. Not to say that what he's saying isn't true, by the way. The first few episodes, he's basically been like, we need to act now, and everyone's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, don't disrespect your queen. But it's like, well, he's kind of right, though. Like, you should have acted earlier. But yeah, Rhaenyra here says, we cannot challenge King's Landing without the Riverlands. I think that's what she's saying to Alfred Broom, so it could be that she came up with a... Oh, I bet it's Alfred Broom being like, we need to attack now, and Rhaenyra's like, no. We're building up a northern army, we're building up a Vale army. They need to travel through the Riverlands in order to actually get to King's Landing via land. So when we have the North, the Vale, and the Riverlands, then we can actually challenge the Greens, and we shouldn't rush to anything. And Alfred Broom is probably being like, no, we strike now. Next up, we have negotiations. Some more negotiations, except, well, Jace's negotiations involved sitting down, having some wine and food, and having a pleasant conversation. The breeze in the air, all that stuff. Daemon's negotiation involves him sitting on a dragon. So yeah, this looks like the Brackens and the Blackwoods are having a parley of some sort. And I don't know if they were aware Daemon and Craxes were going to be there, or if he just came in last minute and I'm like, God damn it. But yeah, this very much looks like Daemon has the high ground here, right? He's like, look, you're just gonna support me. You're gonna stop attack. The Blackwoods win this round. You're on Team Black. Deal with it, or I'm literally gonna burn Stonehenge. So yeah, the captions say our terms are simple: bend the knee to me, or your house burns. And then the other caption bottom right is from Mysaria, because that's from later on in the trailer. So I'll address that later. But this could be how they get House Bracken on side. They're literally just saying bend the knee, or I'm gonna burn you all. And they're like, screw it, why not? And then there's this Bracken, who, can I just say, this Bracken, looks just like my Bracken drawings, you know? Like, this guy looks just like the Brackens that I have in my Bracken vs. Blackwood video, with the wide jaw and the butt chin and the stubble and the kind of broad nose. Like, holy shit, that's one of my Brackens. And the sigil is on his leather, which is, again, wonderful. But yeah, in Fire and Blood, what happens is that Daemon goes to Stonehenge and is like, yeah, no, you have the Battle of the Burning Mill, and then Sir Raylan Rivers escort the surviving Bracken army back to Stonehenge, but in her absence, Daemon's already forced Lord Humphrey Bracken to bend the knee and has already claimed Stonehenge. So maybe they didn't have the time or resources or budget to have another castle, so instead of Daemon taking Stonehenge, they're just meeting in a field, and it's like, listen, bend the knee. And then if they do bend the knee, and you out of fear, and you have House Bracken versus House Blackwood both on Team Black, then the rest of the Riverlands, the rest of the Riverlords, who don't know what to do because their liege lord isn't giving any orders because he's senile and sort of dying basically, and his grandson refuses to act in his stead because he's a loyal young lad. All these Riverlords are going to go, okay, so Daemon Targaryen has taken Harrenhal, and he has House Strong on his side, and he somehow has both House Bracken and House Blackwood on his side. He somehow got them to join. Okay, this guy, there's something about this guy. He's cooking something else, so that could be the big thing that legitimizes Daemon and gets the Riverlords to go rally behind him. Oh, he got the Brackens and the Blackwoods to join him. God damn. And I do like the shot of Craxes right behind the Bracken. Yeah, and they're setting up all of these characters, presumably for future Riverlands battles, is my hope. So we're meeting Forrest Frey, and we're meeting Samwell Blackwood, and we're meeting this Bracken. Could be Amos Bracken, could be Humphrey Bracken. And we're establishing these characters, because of course these are characters who are going to fight in, the Red Fork and the Battle of the Fish Feed and Butcher's Ball and beyond. So we kind of want to know who they are. They're not just random characters. I like that. It's fun seeing all these Riverlords being revealed to us. And then what does Daemon do at Harrenhal? Well, he has established Daemon Reconstruction Services Limited. He is literally rebuilding Harrenhal. And I said this to my patrons last week, I believe. I said, of all my predictions for Daemon in Harrenhal, the last thing I expected was he literally starts rebuilding the castle. Personally chopping wood. Okay, Daemon, go ahead. Him being like, okay, so we need to reconstruct the castle? We need to rebuild the battlements and the fortifications and make sure that we're a decent castle that can hold a giant host and can be well defended against the Greens. I'll do it myself, and he's just chopping wood. I like to think that he has no idea what he's doing. He's funneled a load of money into this. Everyone's working. He's doing the politician photo op thing, where he's picks up a baby, or when a politician does 5 minutes of farm work to get a photo ID and then throws everything away and walks off, or hands out soup in a homeless shelter and then leaves once the cameras are gone. Damon's posing, taking pictures of wood, and the moment Lord Strong's not looking, he's gonna be all right, see ya. Just rides off. Not Lord Strong, Sir Simon. That does remind me, actually, that does make me think, where is he getting the money to do this? Because Larys says that excuse me, Larys says that the gold he gets from owning Harrenhal and its land goes directly to him, not to the castle, and he's probably spending it on himself and his drip and some OnlyFans feet pictures and building up his network of spies and assassins and arsonists and so on. So it could be whoever's, the gold just goes to him, but how are they rebuilding this without gold? Are they going to intercept it? Is it like taxes are collected in Harrenhal and then delivered to King's Landing, and there's going to be a scene where they just whatever that train is, they just not literal train, but bunch of carriages, horses, they intercept it like highwaymen on Crax's back, and he's like, oi, that's my gold, and they steal his gold and they use it to rebuild. I don't know, that's cool. Or maybe Daemon just puts his own funds into it, right? Because he's probably pretty rich, he's a prince, I guess. Maybe he's I'm going to fund this myself. I'm not happy, but I'm going to fund this myself. Oh no, I moved on a slide. I didn't mean to, because there's another Daemon shot, which is really intriguing. And again, I've turned up the brightness here. It's him with his head on his pillow trying to sleep, and there's a mysterious voice that says, Daemon, you were made to wear a crown. And it's a woman's voice, and I cannot place it. I genuinely can't place it. I don't know who it is. It's not Alice Rivers, because it's an English accent. It's not Rhaenyra's voice, young or old. It's not Laena's voice. I don't think it's Rhea Royce's voice. I don't know who it is. It's it's just a random woman's voice. And I'm like, what? Some people have speculated it could be Emma Arryn. But why would he dream of Emma Arryn telling him he was made to wear a crown. That's kind of weird. I don't know, maybe he's going to have a weird hallucination of Emma Arryn being like, you're the one who should be the king, not my loser husband. And he's like, no, I love my brother, but you're also right. I don't know. Actually, yeah, let me know in the chat. Genuinely, let me know in the chat. Play the clip. I'm sticking to slideshows for now. Yeah, I probably should have had the clip ready. It could be his mother, Alyssa. Yes, actually, yeah, they could have cast someone to play his mother. That could be really awesome. Oh, imagine they get Baelor as well, like his mother and father, being like, "We're ashamed of you." Well, no, not ashamed. They're like, "You were born to wear the crown." Yeah, him dreaming of his mother could be so fascinating. Again, could be Emma Arryn. Lena, someone said, I thought it was Lena. It could be Lena. It doesn't sound like Lena, though. Here's the thing. Adult Lena's actress, has a very distinct voice because the actress is Swedish and she's doing an English accent, but there's a certain lilt to her accent. There's like a certain, when I first watched the episode, I was like, it sounds slightly foreign and I couldn't place it. And then I found out Nina Blondell was Swedish. I'm like, oh, that's it. So it doesn't sound like hers. It sounds like someone else. It could be Craster's voice. You're right. Yeah, sure. Why not? Have you considered that forcing people to bend the knee implies he yoinks their treasury? Oh, that's a good point. Like maybe. Oh. Yeah, maybe he gets the Brackens to bend the knee and he's like, okay, give me the Bracken treasury, I'm rebuilding Harrenhal. Yes, that's interesting. Iron Bank loan? Oh, not the Iron Bank. God damn it. Thank you for the super chat from BatFlash52, who says, congrats on surpassing Quinn the GM in subscribers. You earned it. Yes. Can we all take a moment to celebrate that I have overtaken the dastardly villain known as Quinn the GM? I now officially have more subscribers than him. I'm a bigger channel than him. I've already stopped communicating with him, by the way, just to let you know. I used it. I'm Leech Lord, Late Lord Haven. I should be the Leech Lord Haven, like Roose Bolton. I'm the Leech Lord. I leeched him to get views and attention and clicks, and then I've overtaken him. I'm kicking him to the dirt, and I'm going to move on to someone bigger, like Glidus and Alt Shift X. Haha. Although I do have to, joking aside, subscribe to Quinn the GM if you haven't. He does really great short analysis videos. Yeah. But see, he's very annoying. I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but Quinn is very annoying because whenever I try to gloat about having more subs, he goes, wow, well done, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, I want you, no, be annoyed. It's not satisfying if you praise me. I want you to be angry. I want beef. I want rivalry. I want competition. I want a race. Anyway, Blackwood's Rule. Let me continue Batflash's super chat. Blackwood's Rule. Please consider doing a Greyjoy Rebellion video. Ooh, that'd be fun. Yeah, I think I did Blackfire Rebellion, so it's inevitable that I'll do the other major wars. Yeah, I did Range of Castamere, I did Blackfire. I'm definitely going to do Robert's Rebellion and Greyjoy Rebellion. That'll be a fun one. Although, do I do a Greyjoy Rebellion video, or do I just do a History of House Greyjoy video, which will include the Rebellion? We'll have to see. Maybe I can do like an overview on the Greyjoy Rebellion in a Greyjoy family video, and then the follow-up video would be like a detailed look at the rebellion itself and the consequences and so on. It could be Rhaenys's voice. It doesn't sound like Rhaenys's voice to me. Yeah, some people said they can't get Streamlabs to work. Yeah, thank you for people who try and do Streamlabs. It can be finicky, it can be weird. It's not as easy as just doing it via YouTube. I appreciate, whether it's Streamlabs or Super Chat, I massively appreciate it. Okay, let's continue. Oh, where are we? Ah, no. Oh, there we are. Boomer Lord Haven. Yeah, no, we are on the right one. Oh, chaos. Sheer chaos. We were doing so well as well. We were doing so well. Bad parentage moment. Okay. Why Why did you say bad parentage moment? Oh, I think I forgot to change the title for this one because I reuse my slides every time I do this, and I just like change out the title when I add new pictures. I think I forgot to change the title because I have no idea why bad parentage moment is the title for this slide. It must be from week 4. Anyway, I turned up the brightness for this one as well. Let's look at the council now as it stands. Otto is gone. He's replaced by Criston Cole, who has a black... I noticed that he's got a black ball. I didn't notice that before. His council ball is black, probably representing Cole, right? Because his surname is Cole and his sigil are a bunch of... How many black... Is it 10 or something? He's a bunch of black pellets on red. Pellets of coal. So he has like a coal black stone for a council ball. That's fun. Alicent is there, of course. I'm not sure how much influence she has anymore. Behind her is Larys. I think this is the first time Alicent's at the council with Larys, so she's literally wedged between Criston and Larys. God damn it. Poor Alicent. And then our boy Ironrod and Allwyle and Tyner Lannister doing their thing. I wonder if we'll see more squabbling without Otto, or whether the council will fall back into line and become sort of more serious and competent again because Aemond is now in charge. Of course, interestingly, Aemond is still sitting in his seat. Oh, quick aside, I hope they do address the fact that there isn't a Master of Ships. They bring it up and they don't mention it again, so that needs to be explained. But I wonder if Aemond will start the episode at that end of the table and will end it sitting in the king's seat, like I am the regent now. And then behind Aemond we see a king's guard. He's not one of Aegon's 3 king's guard, so he must be one of the currently unnamed ones. There are 2 like random Kingsguard dudes who don't have names, and there's a new old guy who's Rickard Thorne according to casting. But yes, the caption for this one is very intriguing. It says, well, for 2 reasons. One, it says the king does not lack for heirs, so this must be them being like, okay, what do we do if the king dies? The king's incapacitated. Who should rule after him? Who should rule now? And they're being like, well, you know, he doesn't lack for heirs, and this could be where they finally discuss succession. They should have discussed it before, but oh well. Yes, well, he has a daughter, but he's also got 2 younger brothers, Aemond and Daeron, and this could be like another Daeron name drop. That'd be useful. What's interesting here is that apparently it's Otto Hightower saying this, which is not true. I've listened to this clip a few times, and that is not Otto Hightower's voice saying the king does not lack for heirs. That, to me, that sounds like Ironrod's voice. So I think the subtitler just made a mistake. I mean, it could, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Otto is going to have a surprise reappearance in Highgarden, right, negotiating with the Tyrells. But I do get the sense that Otto is gone for this season. Yeah, I think it's Ironrod. And moving on from black coal and black council balls to black pills, we got to discuss Criston. We got a couple of shots here. One of them, he's talking to Alicent. Oh wait, no, the other thing comes first, right? Alicent says, "So you cast me aside," and we have Alicent glaring at him at the council. He's looking straight ahead. She's looking at him. Maybe the implication is that she's suggesting something and he's shutting her down. And then there's another one, top right, where Criston says, "We have given the war to the dragons." So I don't know if he's responding to her comment about being cast aside by saying, "We've given the war to the dragons." And there's not much of a... Like, okay, if those are related, then maybe it's like, you know, why have you cast me aside? Why aren't you sleeping with me? Why aren't you letting me say my piece at the council? And he's like, it's not about you. You know, it's not about us. It's about the dragons. This war has escaped our grasp, our control. We just have to go along with the flow. Or more likely, they're just 2 lines of dialogue that have been spliced together for this. I think they're 2 separate things. But Criston saying we've given this war to the dragons, or given the war to the dragons, probably how he's coping with seeing the destruction and devastation during his Saving Private Ryan moment at the end of last episode, where he's like, yeah, this is a dragon war. This isn't regular war. Regular war is when I sacked Duskendale. Rook's Rest was madness. You know, ash and blood and like boiling hot dragon blood and all that stuff. Terrible. So yeah. Christy Cole, not Crispy Cole, because he survived. He didn't get bathed in dragon fire last episode. But yeah, I don't know what, I've completely lost my train of thought. That might be the first time this live stream when my brain genuinely just like switched off there. I don't know what I was talking about. Yes, given the war to the dragons, Kristen Cole, he's probably just accepting the inevitable that this is a different kind of war to the one he's used to, and that they have to embrace it. Maybe. I don't think he's going to hold back because of what he's seen. He might do. He might be like, "Hey, this is too far. We can't do this." So Jace serving face at the twins. Although before we move on, we have a super chat. Now, I saw someone in the chat earlier say that Streamlabs did not save their name, and the person who said that was Vandalman8, who often sends me super chats about milk for some reason. So we have a Streamlabs donation from someone with a random ID. I'm going to assume it's Vandalman. So thank you, Vandalman. Let's see if the word milk is in here. Distracting milk-related super chat. Oh, for I'm done. I'm leaving. Fine, I'll continue the live stream, whatever. So, Vanderman says, distracting milk-related super chat, etc. He's well known for his milk super chats. Do you prefer skim, brackets, fat-free milk, 2% milk, whole milk, half and half, or heavy cream? Also, normal milk, chocolate milk, or strawberry milk. Please think of me whenever giving in to your lactose urges. I like whole milk. I'm full fat all the way. Not heavy cream. I don't want to go too far into it. But I grew up with semi-skimmed, half and half. We call it semi-skimmed in the UK. That's the green lid. But then when I started living by myself away from my parents, my first act of rebellion was to buy blue-lidded full fat milk because I'm a bad boy. So I love that. Normal milk, chocolate milk, strawberry milk. I love chocolate milk. I'm a big sweet tooth. Why am I indulging this comment? Why am I indulging this? Ugh. Okay, anyway. Yes, I like chocolate milk. I don't like strawberry milk. I don't dislike it. I'm not a big fan of that. But yes, thank you so much for giving me a lovely donation to discuss milk. Wow, I thought the chat wouldn't have time for this, but instead there's just a bunch of people saying full fat, 2% milk is best, half and half. What's 2% milk? I've heard that before. I've not heard. What's 2% milk? I don't understand that. Is that like a milk carton and literally it's like 98% water, 2% milk or something? What's 2% milk? I've never heard of that before. Lysa Tully, yeah, I think my favourite milk is Lysa Tully milk is like sour. Lysa Tully milk tastes like milk that's been out of the fridge for like 2 days. That's Lysa Tully milk. Alice Rivers milk, that's fresh. That's a different... Anyway, moving on. Serving face at the twins. So, we have Vermax looking over the twins. As we can see, the two castles, the two twin towers of Frey. In the book, there is actually a fort in the middle of the bridge in between these two castles. That fort doesn't exist now, unfortunately. It's not in the show, whatever, not a big deal. And Jace is sitting there, yeah, we talked about this before, negotiating with House Frey, getting them on side. And much like Daemon getting the Brackens to bend the knee, I imagine the fact that Vermax is lurking on a distant hill is gonna convince people, convince Forrest and his family to be like, yeah, let's throw our hands in the air. You can have our support. Now, I don't necessarily know, actually, if Jace is here as part of a mission to get every single River Lord on side, or whether he's specifically been sent to the twins because he's like, okay, listen, we have the Vale that want to march into the Riverlands. That's all good, right? They can go to Harrenhal. We have Northerners. What's that noise now? What's going on now? It's like a chainsaw going. Anyway, like a planes, I got chainsaws, I got milk. It's crazy over here in Guantanamo Bay, and definitely not England. What was I talking about? Yes. Yes, the Vale can come in and go to Harrenhal, but the North, if the North is coming down and they want to cross the river, we're going to need the twins on side. It's the same issue Robb Stark had, right, when he had to negotiate with the Freys to be able to cross. So it could be that Jace is like, Northern men are coming down at the behest of Lord Cregan Stark. They're going to need to cross the twins. We need you to join us and open the gates to them so that they have a better strategic positioning in the Riverlands. So it could be it's a fun way to introduce this house because it's one of the most strategically important castles in the Riverlands. Yeah. So we are trying to talk about House Frey here, and everyone's distracted with milk discussion. Let's stop the milk. Focus on Jace. Focus on House Frey. Soya milk faction. You can leave the live stream. I'm not having any soy milk drinkers watching this content. What are you talking about? 2% milk is standard in America. Why is it called 2%? Why 2%? Oh, it's milk but a little bit more fat. Okay. It's just white water. Oat milk. See, I have tried... I'm getting so distracted here. Let me finish up the milk discussion. I have tried moving on to oat milk and, soy milk and almond milk, and it's all disgusting. I can't not have regular milk. The best milk is Helena's plump milk. Why? No other Song of Ice and Fire YouTuber has an audience like mine. I swear to God, my videos aren't even that weird, but I have the weirdest fans. I kind of like it though. Also, you're not wrong about Helena. I'm going to throw that out there. Okay, shall we actually continue? This is turning into madness. The Regent and the Worm. My goodness, Regent and the Worm. So I decided to put these screenshots together because there's subtitles going over all of them. So first off, just looking at the pictures, we have that shot of Aemond, hand behind his back, stalking towards the Iron Throne at night time, and as we've seen in the trailers, the lightning comes in, pathetic fallacy. It's very fun. This could be before he becomes regent. This could be him, debating whether he wants to smother Aegon with a pillow and take the throne, or more likely, he has been made Prince Regent. And he's like, this is my throne now. I get to sit this, and this is probably the same scene where he talks to Helena, because in a previous scene, right? The previous still that we showed, it looked like the back of Helena's head was in the corner of the picture. So this is him talking to Helena, I think. And then we have a mysterious woman with a hood walking through the streets of King's Landing. Now there's a similar shot in previous trailers of a woman in a red cloak, running through the streets of King's Landing in daytime, and that woman appears to be Elinda Massey, the daughter of Lord Gorman Massey, the man who was like, "You have more easy disentangling the end of a Lyseni orgy." That guy. And Linda Massey is Rhaenyra's bedmaid who, tries to escape during Cargill Bowl and all that. So it seems like Elinda Massey, if this is her as well, hooded figure in King's Landing, that she's being sent off into King's Landing to do some darkling schemes, as Iron would say. And that's sort of supported by the subtitles here. The people whispered when Viserys lived, there was peace. And then I think after this is when she says there's more than one way to fight a war. So it's probably, again, the conversation being merged together, but she's probably like, okay, yeah, I have spies and I listen to what people said. And it sounds like she's like, from what I understand now in the streets, people liked that there was peace under Viserys, and people are not a fan of the blockade and they're not a fan of the war. They don't necessarily care who's on the Iron Throne. They just want someone who's going to put an end to hunger and warfare. So if we can send agents such as Elinda Massey to spy and to spread chaos and sow dissent and to push propaganda, then we can get the small folk on our side. Which, of course, the attitudes of the small folk is super important in this story in terms of storming of King's Landing and the Moon of the Three Kings, and just thematically, just generally about the Highborn stomping on the nobility for their own petty, selfish goals. So yeah, that's the Regent and the Worm. What else was I going to say? Yes, it's interesting how much Viserys' legacy is evoked this season. The season 1 is so much about how Viserys kind of sucks, how he's kind of a good man, weak king, and now it's like, well, at the end of the day, he ruled over peace. He was competent and peaceful maybe at the very most, but that's good. And people are now nostalgic for a king who didn't necessarily distinguish himself in battle, as he complained about to his hand, Lionel Strong, but he was a man who ruled over prosperity and inherited Jaehaerys' prosperity and sort of continued that trend, and now people are looking back to him. So it could be Rhaenyra's like, I want to continue that legacy. You know, for the sake of having the small folk on my side, I want to be seen as the one who will bring peace, maybe. I don't know. There's another shot of Rhaenyra here saying, the path I walk has never been trod, which presumably she's talking about the nature of the Civil War, right? Oh no, probably being a woman ruler. Yeah, it's probably that. She's probably talking to Mysaria, being like, yes, I'm the first queen of the seven, I'm lady of the seven kingdoms, queen of the Andals, Rhaenyra, first men, etc. No one else has been down that path. There has not been a queen regnant in power before, so a ruling queen. Or it could just be talking about being one side of a Targaryen civil war, which hasn't happened before. But yeah, there is more than one way to fight a war. Mysaria is cooking. Not only do we have agents stalking about King's Landing, skulking through the alleyways, we have this shot of, looks like a bunch of small folk climbing gates that have been shut by gold cloaks, and I'm pretty sure this screenshot isn't the best one necessarily, but when the camera pans down, I'm sure you can see Hugh Hammer in the background. So what could this scene be? This could be, you know, the small folk are agitated, they're angry. We know based on trailers it looks like there's going to be some food riots. I don't know if that's this episode necessarily. It could be. Oh, it could be the build up to the small folk being discontent. Again, why are the gates shut and why are they not allowed out? What's going on? Is there like a delivery of food for the Red Keep and for the nobility, and they're seeing it and they're being like, oh, why aren't we having that? Give it to us. Is there some kind of, I don't know, has someone arrived? Is there some propaganda being pushed that's making everyone mad? I don't know, but that seems to be Mysaria's tactic right now. It's turn the small folk of King's Landing against Aegon, like drive him out. Small folk who probably already quite dislike him, although he's made some nice promises, specifically to the Smiths, including Hugh Hammer, in terms of paying them in advance of making the scorpions to protect the city from dragons. But he also hanged 99 out of 100 innocent rat catchers, so that's also, and displayed them for everyone to see. I keep dropping my thing. There we go. And then we have the final two shots of the trailer. Alicent and Rhaenyra. We have Alicent. Again, I think that's her at the council, maybe being like, "God damn it, everything is fucked." And then we have Rhaenyra looking up, probably also thinking, "God damn it, everything is fucked." Yeah, the fact that she's looking up so dramatically, I do wonder if this is related to her finding out about Rhaenys' death, maybe, in some capacity. Like, maybe this is the opening of the episode, she's, like, waiting for Rhaenys to return, and she isn't, or maybe a raven returns instead, and she's watching the raven, she's like, oh no, and they're about to find out. And then the final piece of dialogue in the trailer is, what we must do now is terrible. Again, is this about any specific strategy, or is this Criston expanding upon his whole spiel about, we have given this war to the dragons? Is this Criston Cole saying, we have given the war over to insane blonde people on fire-breathing giant lizards, and that is the new nature of war, and this isn't just any old war, this is a war that's going to be super destructive and super bloodthirsty, and the casualties will be insanely high compared to the average battle, and like, we have to do it because that's the nature of this war. What we're doing now is terrible. It's going to be several fields of fire as we try to wipe out the enemy, but we have to do it. I guess maybe Criston's resolve is being hardened. Maybe he's becoming callous and numb to it, and maybe Alicent is the same way, but we'll have to see. This episode, without question, will sort of be the board being reset, right? So you could argue the first three episodes are all the pieces on the board are being put in place and some are being knocked off, and then episode 4, boom, the board is flipped over. Okay, first half of the season done, second half, let's put the pieces back on. In fact, you could argue the first 4 episodes are almost like Act 1, with episode 4, with Rook's Rest battle being like end of Act 1, and now maybe we're entering to Act 2, which will probably be episodes 5 and 6, resetting things, building up the next major plot points. Then 7 and 8 will probably be like Act 3, the finale, you know. I need to stop filling with stuff because I'm just dropping it. So I want to know what your thoughts are. we're not going to end the live stream just yet. This has been a pretty quick live stream too. Like I said, Euros are at 8. I don't want to miss England smashing Spain. It's coming home. Yeah, quick live stream. But we're not over yet. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen next episode? Do you have any theories for the future of the season? Remember, this is a spoiler live stream, so you can be as spoilery as you like, genuinely. Yeah. What's going to happen? What do you want to happen? Is there anything you want me to address specifically? Let me know. Does Jace's dragon pout too? Probably. Let's be honest. I think probably so. And of course, in this final stage of the live stream where we chat about whatever we want to chat about, feel free to send in the last round of super chats and donations if there's anything specifically you want me to see. Speaking of, thank you for the super chat from Tyree Everding. Thank you so much, Tyree, who says, I think Alicent's line is in reference to Aemond becoming regent instead of her. Ah, I see. What specific line is that? That would be oh, cast me aside. Yeah. So you cast me aside. And that could be her being like, yeah, I bet they're probably having a discussion about who the regent should be, and Alicent's like, well, I'm the queen mother, so I should be the regent. And Aemon's like, yeah, no, me. And then Kristen's like, yes, it should be you, let's be honest. And Alicent's like, how dare you? How dare you? And Kristen's like, come on, you're a woman, I'm not going to have you as a regent. Which is actually a fair argument from Team Green. Well, not fair, but I mean, like, consistent with their own principles. It would be weird if they're like, we need firstborn son on the throne, Rhaenyra's a whore, and then Aegon is crippled, and they're like, so anyway, the regent who's ruling is now a woman. They would be like, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense for the Greens to do that. Oh, why are there so many milk emojis? This was a mistake. Vandalman has caused so much chaos in this community. I'm surprised Vandalman hasn't joined the Patreon, to be honest. I've got some weird fucking patrons. I don't know if all patrons are like this, but mine especially are just. England shouldn't have won from the Dutch. That penalty was BS. That sounds like cope to me. Let's be honest. I do agree though. I actually agree that penalty was bullshit. We also got away with shoving someone to the ground that one time. We didn't get a penalty. That was kind of, yeah. That was a bullshit penalty, but also cope because we got through. We made it through 2-1 to England. Ow. Yeah, at this point, Mysaria will probably start to gain a reputation as Lady Misery. Yes, says Master Plo Koon. Yes, Mysaria, as well as being known as the White Worm, she's known as Lady Misery, a play on Lady Mysaria. We haven't heard her be called that yet, because so far we haven't seen her do anything particularly nasty and ruthless, right? Like in the book, she's if you see my real Blood and Cheese video, she's actively involved in Blood and Cheese, right? But she's not done anything super evil. She just spies and sells information and all that stuff. So I do want to see her do some, be quite. She's more ruthless than Rhaenyra for sure. If Rhaenys was like the angel on Rhaenyra's shoulder, I kind of want Mysaria to be the devil, replacing her. When I really want that to happen, and I kind of hope it's going to go that way actually, because there's that scene right where. Last episode, episode 3, where Rhaenyra was like, I want to see Alicent in the Sept. Oh no, she's like, I want Alicent. How can I get to Alicent? And Mysaria's like, oh, do you want to kill her or kidnap her? And she's like, I want to meet her. And he's like, oh, meet her. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Already taking the most ruthless approach. Do you think Nettles will appear? The complete lack of Nettles, like. We've seen Ulf, we've seen Hugh, we've seen Adam. There has been no Nettle set up, which means either she's coming out next episode, or coming out next episode. Sorry, either she's being revealed next season, or she's fully been cut. My guess is Nettles has been 100% cut. I'll talk more about Nettles if the leaks are true about the merging with different characters, but I'll talk about that later. Someone said, sorry, I'll have to listen later with headphones. I can't hear you at all. That's a shame. Is my volume not up enough? Let me see. Yeah. My mic's at a weird angle too. Oh, well. I want to see Tyrion Lannister use his horse powers. You better believe he's going to use his horse powers. That'll be the finale. Speaking of, Jimbo said, what is the season finale? My guess is Fall of King's Landing, not Battle of the Gullet. So you have to remember, this was going to be 10 episodes. And I think what was going to happen, personally, is you were going to have episode 9, Battle of the Gullet, episode 10, Fall of King's Landing. With 9 being a big battle, Fall of King's Landing being a big set piece, big showpiece, but not necessarily a battle. And then when it was truncated and reduced to 8 episodes, not a creative decision apparently, an HBO mandated decision, timing, budget, resources, not entirely sure why. Of course, they never bother being honest with us and revealing it to us, the studio executives. But it's been pushed down to 8 seasons, so they had to rejig some stuff. I don't think Battle of the Gullet is a good ending. So there are 3 potential endings. There's Red Fork / Fish Feed and, aka a Riverlands battle. I don't think that would work because there aren't enough characters that we care about yet in the Riverlands. Especially for like an end of season battle. It can be Battle of the Gullet, which would be a cool ending, but also spoilers. Click off the live stream if you don't want spoilers. It's a spoilers live stream. Battle of the Gullet obviously results in the death of Jaceres, and I don't think it would work for the season to end with a black loss. Like that doesn't feel balanced to me. Like we had Rook's Rest was basically a black loss. The end of season 1 was a black loss. The throne was stolen from her, according to them, and her stillborn daughter. Her daughter was stillborn, and her son was killed by Aemond. So that's a big loss. So having a finale where it's another loss and then another son dies, it's not balanced enough. You kind of need the season to end with a black win, just narratively, I think. So Battle of Gullet I don't think works as a finale. And also just, it's going to be a bit eye-rolling if you keep ending the finales with Rhaenyra loses a son and then the start of the next season is her grieving about her son. You don't want to be too predictable. And it would be interesting parallels, I guess, but I don't know, I want something else. So because of that, I think they're going to switch it around, have the Battle of the Gullet after the Fall of King's Landing, and have the Fall of King's Landing in episode 8. And then that resets season 3 for the Blacks now hold King's Landing, the Greens are in disarray, mixes up the dynamic massively. Now that begs the question, and also it means that we get to keep Jace for a bit, but it begs the question, what is the Battle of the Gullet going to be? Because it's meant to be the Triarchy breaking up the Velaryon blockade of King's Landing, but if they've taken King's Landing, then there's not going to be a blockade, is there? So instead it might be that they hire the Triarchy to try, or get the Triarchy on side to try and directly attack King's Landing, like as a kind of let's try and take it back, or to attack Dragonstone and Driftmark, or I'm not sure. But yeah, it'll certainly be intriguing to see what they do next season. I also don't know how, because Ryan Condal, aka Brian Fondle, he said that there are going to be 2 major battle episodes this season, and they're 2 set pieces that are bigger than anything they've done before on House of the Dragon. So the biggest battle they had in House of the Dragon was obviously the admittedly kind of dumb Stepstones fight. But it looked cool. And so they've already done Rook's Rest, which was incredible. The troops on the ground stuff was incredible. The dance of the dragons in the air was just as incredible, if not better. So that was wonderful. Fantastic episode, 9 out of 10. Check my quickie reviews. So what else would be, Fall of King's Landing, is it big enough? Because I think people kind of forget what the Fall is. Some people think the Fall is like this big bloodless thing, like Daemon taking Harrenhal, like Daemon taking Harrenhal, but it isn't. There is, in Fire and Blood, it does say that there is fighting. Like some of the gates are opened by gold cloaks. Gold cloaks betray some people. Soldiers do come in and do some killing. There is the Velaryon fleet does engage the royal fleet, and there's a fight. So I reckon we're gonna have the bulk of the army, Vhagar, Aemond, maybe Gwaine Hightower, marching off to Harrenhal, switcheroo, tricked them, attack King's Landing, but we're still going to have a naval battle, Velaryon ships versus the Royal Fleet. Excuse me. Yeah, Velaryon ships versus Royal Fleet. We might have a ground battle. We might have, dragons sailing overhead. Blah blah blah. I'm not sure how you could fit. I don't know. I have heard some rumors that the season will end with the beginning of the fall of King's Landing. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like they take the city, but then the aftermath isn't there. So the season just ends with the battle, and like the premiere of season 3 is the aftermath of Rhaenyra sitting on the throne and certain characters being thrown in prison or being executed and so on. I understand they don't have much of a choice when the episode count was cut down, but Game of Thrones is like, you don't end the season on a big battle. What you do is you have a battle and then you have an aftermath episode to put the season to rest and set up the next season. That's what was so great about Game of Thrones. Big dramatic episode 9, then the aftermath episode 10. So if you have like the ending is Fall of King's Landing, but then you don't really have an aftermath to that, and then we have to wait 2 years, that feels kind of, that would be kind of disappointing. But yeah. Whoop. What else did people say? I went on a bit of a tangent there, didn't I? Oh yeah, someone said if Rhaenys is the angel on her shoulder, I'd hate to see what a devil is. Yeah, angel on her shoulder in terms of that's how the show is tried to portray her, and that's how she acted with Rhaenyra, not necessarily consistent with the way she acted in episode 9 of season 1, of course. Can Cole choose the regency in his capacity as hand? Oh, can Cole choose the regent in his capacity as hand? I guess. Yeah. Is it Cole choosing, or is it going to be like a council votes on who the regent is? I could easily see the hand being like, with the king dead, I'm basically in charge, but I have to choose a regent, and I'm not going to make myself regent because I've got too much on my plate. Can you imagine Kristen Cole, Lord Commander of the King's Guard, and hand and regent? My goodness. You can't kill Jace before he has fucked at least someone. Whether Cregan, Sarah, or Baylor, he needs to have a sex scene before his death. Honestly, I can see them doing what they don't do in the book, which is have Baylor and Jace actually marry during the war. Just to give them some stuff to do. To give them people to do, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we need to see more of Jace before they kill him off, for sure. We should have got him at the Vale and the North more. Flesh out his character more, expand him. They might replace Aemond Hightower with Otto at the head of the Green Army in the Reach. They've name dropped Aemond already, though. It is worth noting. They have name dropped Aemond in episode 1. He was like, my nephew Aemond is raising the Green Army. Is raising the Hightower Army at Old Town. History of House Cole video. What would that be? There's one Cole. No, there's like, what would I would talk about Kristen and then like the one Cole who's in the Golden Company. If I were to do a Kristen video, it would be the real Kristen Cole comparing the show version with the book version. But that would happen after Kristen Cole's death. I don't do the real X videos until the character's conclusion has already happened in oh god damn it, in the show. Okay, forget it. I'm just dropping everything off my desk. Forget it. History of House Aaron, maybe, says Baxter. Oh, I'm doing History of House Aaron. I've already announced that. Have I announced that? If I haven't, I'm announcing it now. History of House Aaron will be the next big animated video I'll release during House of the Dragon, whenever the Aarons show up. So probably episode 6 or 7 is my prediction. History of House Connington collab with Quinn. That could be fun. I haven't collabed with him in ages. We've only done a couple of collabs, haven't we? We did Frey stuff, Harrenhal stuff, and Tyrell's, yeah. I can see... Okay, so Loki says something I've actually considered before, which is the showrunner might switch Jace and Joffrey during the Battle of the Gullets to save the character for later. Honestly, that could be a smart choice. Where instead of killing off Jace and then basically reintroducing the character of Joffrey and making us care about Joffrey before he then flies off and falls off a dragon and dies, it might make more sense to kill off Joffrey first and stick with the character we know more about, so that's more impactful. Maybe. Okay, I'm not sure what else there is to talk about. We've gone through all the promo pictures, we've gone through all the stills, the screenshots. Episode 5 is going to be a winding down from the chaos of episode 4 and setting new stuff up. I'm super excited for it. As usual, I'm not going to stay up to watch it because of the damn Now TV and Sky ads that they spam the episode with, and I'm not going to watch an episode with ads in it. So I will be watching it tomorrow with the cheeky Nando's as always. Maybe I'll do chicken wings this time instead of a burger. Anyway, yes, I think we're done. Are we done? I think we're done. I'm not sure what else to talk about. How about one more? Okay, send me one more question. Put some ideas or thoughts or questions in the chat, and I will answer one more, the thing that's most interesting, and then I will wrap up the live stream. Do we know how long episode 5 will be? I don't know. It may have been released. House Vance video? There won't be much to talk about. Okay, okay. I'll answer a couple of questions. All the questions seem to be about the Euros. Okay, I'll answer a couple of questions. Will England win over Spain? Yes, it's coming home. Will Haven get hungover after England's victory? I'm not actually going to drink tonight. All joking aside, I'm not going to drink. Why is Now TV in the chat? What the fuck? Why is Now TV mocking me? 68 minutes. Thank you, Now TV, for telling me how long the... Stop putting... I know it's not actually a representative of Now TV, but if you know anyone who is, stop putting ads in game. It's not your fault, it's Sky, isn't it? Long story, anyway. And then finally, Nando's order. Well, I like Sunset Burger usually, but I'll have something else on Monday. Okay, that's enough. That's enough nonsense. I've basically spent the last half hour talking about utter nonsense, and yet we still have basically 300 viewers, so thanks for hanging on and listening. And these are fun. I like live streams. Oh, before we wrap up, I will say, guess what? Live stream tomorrow, and it'll be on my channel. The last 2 episode breakdowns have been on Quinn the GM's channel. This next one will be on my channel. So check that out. It should be basically midnight UK time, which is fun. So it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time in America, if any of you can make that. But you don't have to watch it live. You can watch it afterwards. And that'll be episode breakdown. If you're part of the Patreon, you'll know that every Tuesday we do House of the Dragon episode watch-alongs, where we rewatch the episode and comment on it and banter, followed by a Song of Ice and Fire Jeopardy. And then the following day, Wednesday, I do Patreon exclusive live streams. So yes, check out the Patreon if you want exclusive live streams and videos and goodies and Discord access and drawings and all kind of stuff. And if you want to support the channel by getting some merch, look at the merch. We've got t-shirts, we've got beanies and mugs. The mugs are especially quite nice. So if you want a Late Lord Haven mug, go get yourself a Late Lord Haven mug. The links are in the description below. Okay, let's wrap up now. Let's wrap up. Enough of this nonsense. Be gone. I have football to watch. Shoo.